It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
I think that is one of my favorite videos. I love that video. I want to welcome you to the YEPdaily today on this Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, maybe even the middle of the night, Friday morning for some of you in Australia. And this is all about you. So feel free to type in the chat where you're calling in from or where you're watching this from if you're watching the replay. So happy to have you here today. Today, we're going to be talking about a mistake that most people make when they get into sales. And the unfortunate thing is they end up quitting before they realize this one little thing that they need to change. So as an introduction, I'll introduce myself. I am Debbie Morton, and I have been coaching and training online marketers for about 5 or 6 years. I came from corporate America. I've owned brick and mortar businesses. I've been an online marketer, network marketer. So I feel like I can relate to wherever you are in your journey to create the life of freedom that you want. And I'm not going to lie, this is my very, very first time hosting this YEPdaily live all by myself. And I'm a little nervous, but I'm also a whole lot excited because I've got a ton of great value to bring you. So question for you. How many of you have ever heard the saying, the fortune's in the follow-up? And I want you to type a number in the chat. We've all heard that saying, right? Type in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, oh my gosh, it's a piece of cake for me to follow up with my prospects, all the way up to number 10. It's like, oh, I hate following up with my prospects because I feel icky and I feel pushy and I feel salesy. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10's easy, or 1's easy, 10 is super hard. Is it easy or hard to follow up with your prospects? So today, I'm going to share another perspective of why Joanne Kimball 7, Joanne Kimball 10, Millie 7, Donna 8. Yeah, so it's up there, right? It's the follow-up part is the part that a lot of people just don't really like doing very much. So I'm going to share with you a different perspective and why it is true that you need to follow up. But I'm also going to give you some tips that'll help make that follow-up a lot easier. So researchers, oh, Cindy, I love it. 2, woo! Researchers say it takes an average of 10 or 8 to 10 touches for somebody to make a buying decision. Now, I would argue that that number can change depending on the price point of what it is you're offering, right? If you have a $3 item, you don't necessarily need 10 touches or 8 touches to sell a $3 item. If you're selling a $5,000 item, that might be a different story just to get the appointment in order to make that sale. So I'll argue that the number of touches can be varied based on what it is that you market and what you offer. I'm going to be training more in depth about that concept next week inside of a free challenge that I'll tell you about a little bit later inside of this training. But for right now, I want to share with you some really important numbers. If you have a pen and paper, you can write these down if somebody wants to put them in the chat. Right now, 3% of people are actively looking to buy your stuff. They want what you have. Whether you're selling real estate or makeup or weight loss, or inside of YEP, we sell training and education and opportunity. 3% of people are actively looking to buy your stuff. 6 to 7% of people are open to buying if they were just made aware that you have what they're looking for. They're open to it. They just need to know that you can offer that to them, right? 30% really aren't even thinking about it. 30% think that they are not interested. They just think they're not interested in it, but maybe they can be talked into it. And 30% thinks they're not interested at all. And I'm going to argue that that 30% that thinks they're not interested at all actually can still be converted. And I'm a perfect example of that. When I met our founder, Jimmy Azell, on a yacht about 2.5 years ago, on a yacht in San Diego Harbor, I was not interested in what he was offering, not interested at all. And yet he continued to follow up with me, and here I am today. So I'm going to argue that even that 30% can be changed, because I'm a perfect example of that. Most people in sales, or most people when they get in business, they're focused on the immediate gratification. They want to make a sale. They want to, Joanne, you get to come back and watch the training again. Most people are focused on the immediate gratification. They want to make a sale right now. They have to pay the bills on Friday. They're desperate to get out of a job. They're in a desperate situation, and all they want, I got to make a sale. 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 I got to get a customer. I got to make a sale. And that's where most people start when they enter into a business. And many of them come out of a job where they're used to, if I work an hour, I get paid. I work another hour, I get paid some more. I work 40 hours and I get a big check. Most people are used to trading that time for money. And so when they come into the sales arena, it's like, wait a minute, I have to work and I 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 work. But when do I make my sale? I want to work and make a sale. I want to make a sale. And so we're focused on that immediate gratification. So they're trying to grab the low-hanging fruit. And when that's done incorrectly, what will happen is they'll alienate 97% of the rest of those individuals that are not looking to buy right now. So I want to talk a little bit about marketing. And when you're marketing, you want to be focused not just on the low-hanging fruit. You want to be focused on everyone out there, the long game, not the short game. So there's a way inside of marketing that you can make an offer to the 3% who are in the market, and you can grab that low-hanging fruit, and then you can build your brand and your message, and you can start to nurture the other 97%. So what does that look like? I'm going to give you a few examples that might be relatable to you, so you can see what's the difference between short-term and the long-term and how it can benefit you inside of your business. Let's say I'm in real estate. And if I'm in real estate, if I'm looking for the people who want a house right now, what am I going to put on my social media newsfeed? There's an open house on Saturday. Come and take a look at the open house on Saturday. Now, maybe they aren't going to be interested in that house, but now you connect with them so you can find them a house. So those are short-term people, the people who are going to come to that open house. They're in the market for a house, and you now can establish that relationship so that you can now be the person who helps them. If you're looking for the long term, not everybody's ready to sell their house right now, right? So if you're looking for long-term clients as a real estate agent, not just trying to get the cream of the crop and the low-hanging fruit, what you're going to be posting on your social media feed is, I just sold a house in 3 days because the owner followed these 3 tips. If you think you're going to sell a house someday, I'd love to share these 3 tips with you. And then you can write an article about it, a blog post. It could be inside of that social media post. But you start to provide value so that when somebody is ready to sell their house, who are they going to reach out to? They're going to reach out to you. So when you combined these 2 things, the short term, getting the low-hanging fruit without repelling them, because nobody likes to be sold. We all like to buy, but nobody likes to be sold. So there's a right way to grab that low-hanging fruit, and then there's a right way to start to develop that following of your target audience. I'm going to share with you an example And this is a real life example of something that happened to me. And for the men who are watching here, forgive me, this is a little bit girly, but I'm going to share this example because it's such a great teachable moment for each one of you who are right now building a business and wanting to scale your business. I was at an event, this was about 3 years ago. I was at an event, and it was up in Canada, and we were riding in the car, and I noticed the fingernails of the girl sitting next to me in the back seat, and they were really pretty. I'm like, oh my gosh, your nails are like really pretty. They had a real decorative design on them. So she told me the company name, and by the way, this example, I do not sell this. I'm just using this as an example because I think it's such a perfect example for you. She told me the name of the company, and she said, it's a network marketing company. It's a direct sales. I buy them from my friend, and I'll give you her name and number so you can buy some. They're super simple. They come in a little package strip, and I'll actually show you what they are. They come in a little, I don't want to like, I guess. They come in a little package strip. You peel them and you stick them in 6 minutes. You can like totally do a manicure with these beautiful nails. I loved it. Like, I am now in the 3%. I'm going to buy those. I love them, and I'm going to buy some. So I'm now a 3%er, right? So she gave me the name of her friend, and I went into her link in her website, and I ordered 4 sets. Never used them before, but it's like, you know what? I loved them on my friend. I'm going to buy 4 sets of them. So I bought my 4 sets. While I was waiting for that order to arrive, for those nails to show up in my mailbox, I got approached by someone on social media who said, hey, have you ever, or do you like to have nice nails? And have you ever heard of, and she mentioned her company. If not, I'd love to share you a demonstration of how easy a beautiful manicure can be. Something to the effect of that. I don't remember exactly what she said. She didn't put a link. She just asked me, do you like to have nice nails? I wrote her back and I said, you know what? You're 2 days too late. I just bought some and they're on the way right now. So she messaged me back and she said, do you know how to apply them? If you don't, I'll send you a video. And so I said, as a matter of fact, I don't know how to apply them. Yes, I would love the video. So she sent me a video of how to apply them. And then she said, if you have any questions when they arrive, just let me know. So a few days later, the nails arrived. I had a couple questions. I reached out to her. Here's the difference between 2 individuals. The woman I placed the original order with, she never said thank you. She never acknowledged that I bought from her site, even though she had to have gotten a notification that somebody named Debbie Morton placed an order from her. I couldn't even tell you what her name is right now. She never offered to say, have you ever used these before? Would you like a video? She never once followed up, and I bought from her, and she never followed up. So the next time I fell in love with them, the next time I wanted to order, who am I going to order from? The one who went for the short-term gratification, the short-term sale, or the one who is following up with me even though she never even got the sale to begin with? I went to the one who followed up with me even though she never got the sale to begin with. And when I reached out and said, I'm ready to buy some more, I want to buy from you, she even said, are you sure? I don't want to take business away from someone else. I just wanted to help you. And I'm like, I don't even know who sold me these things in the first place. She's never followed up. She's never said thank you. I've never gotten an acknowledgement from her. You are the person I want to buy from. And since that day, 3 years, I've probably sent her 20 referrals. This is my own private stash of those things because I stock up. If it looks like they might discontinue a color I like, I stock up. I've spent hundreds, if not $1,000 with this individual. There's the difference between the low-hanging fruit, the short-term gratification, and those who build a relationship, who provide value, who stay in touch and follow up. In our community, YEP is an entrepreneurial community, and our passion is helping entrepreneurs be able to launch a business that you already have. If you're in business, we want to help you grow your business. If you are open to opportunities that are right alongside, we also have an opportunity for you to create another stream of income. We're really here to serve you as an entrepreneur with our global community in whatever way we can. So here's an example of short-term versus long-term. when I first started with this community, because I didn't start with this community to build an income. I started with this community because I had been struggling trying to get my own education for so long that when I saw a community that was going to offer education without costing an arm and a leg, I wanted to contribute to that. So when I first joined YEP, I already knew that there were people who were struggling just like me. I had been in mastermind programs. I had been in other companies. I had been around the block a few times trying to create an online business. And in that journey, I had a lot of friends that I knew were in the same place as me. They were desperate to try to create a life and try to create an income and try to create a business that would give them freedom. So I had some low-hanging fruit. I could go to them and say, you know what? I found a community that I know can help you. Not everybody joined me right away. So I continued on social media to provide value. I continued to educate entrepreneurs. How do they use social media? How do they close a sale? What is the mindset around that? Continuing to provide value. I mentioned a challenge that's coming up, and I want to talk a little bit about what this 5-day challenge is. I'm super excited because it's coming up next week. And we have all new content. This is probably I think like the 17th or 18th challenge that we've done. We've got thousands of people in the private group. But this one I'm really especially in love with because of the value that the trainers are so committed to providing you. It's a 5-day event, and it's 1 hour each day. It's going to take place in a private Facebook group. And there'll be some different exercises that you can do because we want to help you grow. We want to stretch you outside of your comfort zone. And then if you want some additional, so the challenge is complimentary. We want this to be an educational experience for you to help you in business. For an extra $47, you can be a VIP member. And what does that do? You get recordings. So when you see the value, you want to have access to those recordings long-term. You'll have recordings. And you also get an additional hour where we dig even deeper. That training that you get in the first hour, we're going to dig even deeper and apply it directly to you, maybe a little Q&A so that we can help you with the training that you got earlier. So the VIP is just an incredible value. And I can tell you this training, I've spent a lot of money on training and education for building an online business. What we're providing inside of this training is by far worth thousands of dollars. So what are you going to learn inside of this challenge? You're going to learn some simple strategies so that you can have success every day. Because even being successful in business isn't something that just happens like that. You don't just, hang a sign on your door or give out a few cards and all of a sudden you're like super successful in business, right? But you want to win every day, because if you don't win every day, it starts to get frustrating. It starts to get discouraging. It starts to not be fun anymore. So we're going to give you some tools that every day when you do this, you'll have a win every single day. You go to bed at night going, wow, this was a really productive day. Did it put money in your bank account? Maybe, maybe not. But how cool is it that you could go to sleep at night not frustrated that you didn't make a sale, but instead excited that you had so many wins for the day, you moved your business one step forward. So that's what you're going to learn on day 1. Day 2, you're going to discover the 4 simple yet essential components of a sale. I just gave you the short term versus the long term, but we're going to talk about the 4 simple components that need to be. And you know what? I'm going to give you a little insight right now, okay? Number 1, you got to connect with people. You have to have a connection with people. It's not just the 100 friends and family that's in your phone that you're going to be able to build a successful business from. You need to constantly be able to connect with people. And we're going to talk about how you can do that. Number 2, you have to educate, entertain, and give them value. And I'm going to share with you what that looks like. Number 3, you have to have an incredible offer. You need to set yourself apart from the competition. Chances are there's somebody else out there that's selling what you sell. There might be other people in the same company that you're in. There may be hundreds of thousands of people in that same company. How do you set yourself apart from the individuals who are doing the same thing that you do? So that's number 4. And number 5, or 4, no, that's number 3. Number 4 is, how do we take them to the next step? That next step might be, we're ready to take your credit card. that next step might be, you know what, we need to come back to step 2 and go through this funnel and just a little bit deeper and a little bit more. And now we're doing that follow-up, but we're doing the follow-up on the front end of the sale and not the back end of the sale. Make sense? The next thing we're going to talk about is what platform should you be on? What is the business that you're in, and what's the best platform for you? They're all different. They have different personalities. They attract different audiences. You speak to the audiences differently. So what's the best platform for you to be on? And finally, how do you become an expert in sales without feeling icky or salesy? How do you set up that conversation? How do you engage with somebody? Because a successful salesperson is actually listening 70% of the time, not talking 70% of the time. So we're going to teach you how to become an expert in sales, how to engage with your audience so that they feel love, they feel appreciated, and they want to buy from you. So one more thing before I wrap it up. First of all, I want to say thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you, and I am so dedicated to your success because of my own journey and my own struggles. I am passionate about helping entrepreneurs around the world have the success to be able to create a laptop lifestyle, which I have had the honor and the privilege and the opportunity to create here inside of the YEP community. So I want to throw this out there. If you're that 3%, right now, like, I am desperate for education, I am desperate for knowledge, I am desperate for tools to help me build a business or help me build my business, then tonight we have a call that you're not going to want to miss. And you can register for that call at discoveryep.com. Discoveryep.com. You can register tonight. We'll show you behind the scenes what the young entrepreneur can do for you. If you're in the 97%, yeah, maybe I could do it if I saw the right opportunity, or I need to know a little bit more about it, I want to research, I'm not quite sure, then you're in the 97%. And I highly recommend the challenge next week. You do not want to miss a complimentary event. Is there an investment? Yes. You can invest $47 to get the most out of this challenge. But at the very least, you're investing 1 hour of your time per day to get some incredible training that can help you in your business. And then you can make an educated decision. Would you like to join our community going forward beyond that? So if that is you, if you're in that 97%, get back to the person who shared this video with you. Get back to the person who shared YEP with you. Get back to the person who introduced you to me and to this community. And they can get you enrolled in the challenge. They have an enrollment link that they can send you. I appreciate you. I am looking forward to seeing you in the challenge. And until then, have an absolutely wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Bye everybody. Peace out.